Hi everyone, it's Rose here, and welcome to my first episode of Let's Get Wild. I hope this is going to be a success. So today I'm going to be talking to you guys about giraffes. So giraffes are an ungulate mammal. Ungulate means hoofed mammal. So they're an ungulate and they live throughout Africa. There's actually quite a few subspecies of giraffe that you guys might not even know about. And of course we all know that giraffes are the tallest land animals in the world. So let's just have a look at giraffes. The different species, as I said before, there are different species of giraffe. Now some of them are more well known than others, some of them are also very endangered. So we have Maasai giraffe, which is officially the largest land animal in the world, the tallest, and they can grow up to about 5 or 6 meters tall, and that's 16 to 20 feet. And they have about an average weight of 1,600 kg, which is about 3,500 pounds for males. The females can reach 830 kg, which is 1,800 pounds. So that's the Maasai giraffe. Now the Maasai giraffe, some zoos have them. There's about 100 kept in zoos worldwide, and in the wild there's about 40,000. So it is quite a good species. There are quite a few in the wild compared to some of the others. The Rothschild giraffe, on the other hand, is one of the most endangered. There's fewer than 700 in the wild and about 450 kept in zoos. So the Rothschild giraffe is the giraffe that most zoos have. It's a giraffe that you're most likely to see in a zoo. And then there's also the reticulated giraffe. It's also known as the Somali giraffe, and it's native to Kenya and Ethiopia. So there's an estimated population of 5,000 in the wild and about 450 kept in zoos. So the reticulated giraffe and the Rothschild are the two species that most zoos have. And then we also have Kordofan giraffe, about 3,000 in the wild. And we even have the South African and West African giraffe. And the West African giraffe is the most endangered giraffe species. There are fewer than 220 individuals left in the wild. So those are the few different species, and they live throughout Africa. And the giraffe subspecies are, you can tell them apart by their coat patterns. The reticulated and the Maasai giraffes have very different patch shapes. The reticulated giraffes also are a very sort of light brown color, sort of red almost, and Rothschilds and, well, all the others pretty much are sort of a lighter brown. Reticulated giraffes also have their spots really close together, so that's another way that you can tell them. And like I said, the tallest is the Maasai giraffe, which can reach about 6 meters. 6 meters, which is about 20 feet. So their food. Giraffes, they're herbivores, so in the wild they'll eat like twigs and branches and leaves. Their absolute favorite is the leaves of the acacia tree. Now everyone knows that these trees have thorns, really huge thorns. So the giraffes have come up with a technique to avoid those thorns. Their tongue is actually smothered in a special saliva. So how giraffes eat, because giraffes have a prehensile tongue, that means that they can wrap the tongue around things. So they'll wrap their tongue around a branch with leaves, wrap it completely around, and then with their really strong necks they'll just tug it back like that, rip everything off that branch. So that's all the leaves and the thorns as well. So they take all the thorns with them. But special saliva in their mouth actually coats around the thorns, and it reduces the spikiness. So they turn soft And in that way, the giraffes can just swallow them. It's a bit of a yucky feeling, I know, it's the idea. Just imagine having those big fawns can get up to, like, that big down your throat. But the saliva, it smooths them, and so they can just go down their throat easily like that. And the leaves, of course, because they love the leaves. So, and that's, lots of trees in Africa actually have fawns, so giraffes use that technique for quite a lot of different trees as well. And because of their long necks, they do get all their food high in the tree canopies. They don't really like going to the ground because it's really hard, and it also makes them very vulnerable for predators. So because when giraffes have to drink, they have to drink from the ground, obviously, they have to stretch their legs out completely and stick their neck down, and that's a very slow process. It actually takes a while for them to get into that position and then to get back out of the position. So if they're in that position, they're very vulnerable to lions and hyenas, and well, hyenas don't really kill them, but lions occasionally do. So they're very vulnerable, so they only do that when they drink. They try to avoid it as much as possible. And yes, their tongue, everyone knows that they have a very long tongue. Now, in the animal world, giraffes actually have the longest tongue out of all animals. The tongue is about 45 centimeters long. I don't actually know how many feet that is. So it can reach up to 45 centimeters. And like I said, the tongue has the saliva. It's prehensile, so it can wrap around things. So that tongue is quite an important part of the body. Now, of course, we have the neck. The neck can be up to 2 meters, which is about 6 feet and 7 inches in length. And what's very impressive is that giraffe's neck has 7 vertebrae. And humans have 7 vertebrae in their neck as well. Now, the ones in the giraffe's neck are obviously a lot longer, but that's actually quite an interesting fact. And another interesting fact is that the giraffe's closest living relative is actually the okapi. Now, that's a bit of a weird, if you think about that, it's a bit weird, I think. So, with reproduction, the giraffes have a very interesting way of mating, and they often do what's called a flehmen response. Males do that to females, and what happens is they actually taste the female's urine. The female like pees in the male's mouth, and the male can taste in the urine if the female is ready to mate or not. So that's actually quite interesting. And so once the female is pregnant, the gestation lasts about 400 to 460 days. And they have 1 calf generally. I mean, twins is extremely rare. It has occurred though. The mother gives birth standing up. Like I said, sometimes they even sleep standing up. They just never want to get in that downwards position. And the calf emerges head and front legs first, and they have to fall that 6 meters down to the ground. But that's how nature intended it, so they're fine with that. A newborn giraffe is about 1.8 meters, or 6 feet, tall at birth. And within a few hours of birth, the calf can run around. Once the calf is born, the mothers will obviously help to get the giraffe up and lick it clean and do all that important stuff. And then the babies are most vulnerable, because when lions hunt giraffes, it's usually the babies that they go for, well, because they're smaller. That's quite understandable. There is a little map that I'm going to show you now, showing where the giraffes, different species of giraffe, live throughout Africa. It's quite an interesting little graph. So you can see where the different giraffes live. And also sort of what their spots look like. Because like I said earlier, each giraffe has a different spot pattern. So it gives you a little image there of what they look like. So you can sort of tell species apart. There isn't much difference in height though. They are sort of relatively the same size, sort of, but the mass size is the largest. Okay, that's all from me. Hope you liked this first episode. And I'll be doing more animals soon with that same intro, which I'm quite proud of. And if you have any requests for a particular animal that you want to learn more about, feel free to tell me, send me a request, and I will see what I can do.